Hi to all Gunners fans around the world. Hi to all football lovers around the world. You are welcome to another Sunday edition of the Arsenal Alchemy. And I have to say, our mood is dampened, obviously, because we just lost 1-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. And it was a very frantic game. Before I analyze the game, I would like for you to please do like and subscribe to this channel. We need a subscription. It will help us improve our services better. Okay, we're gonna go straight into the game. It was the star game of the weekend, definitely, between the first and second of last season and the first and third of this of the pre-weekend fixtures. So the game started. I think we played very well in the first half. Madueke gave a very good account of himself. He was my man of the match for the first half, apart from the defenders. The defenders were spot on. I cannot blame anybody. But the downside is that in 6 minutes of the game, Saliba got injured. I'm not sure what the injury is yet. It's not been reported, but he got injured. And Mosquera had to come in for him. And, even though he started off a bit shaky, but he grew into the game and he was colossus in that, right side of the middle of the defense. I'm not going to blame anybody. I don't think anybody really played badly. We were kind of short and bereft of ideas in the final third. And I just feel Gyökeres wasn't fed enough from the midfield. The only person I could say I had a problem with in the first half was Mikel Merino. It would have been better if Ethan Nwaneri started this game. Mikel Merino was very passive, to say the least. He didn't make tackles. He didn't make any passes in front. He didn't do anything. I wasn't happy with him. He frustrated me a lot. But I can't say the same about Zubimendi. What a player. Martin Zubimendi, what a player we have in our hands. What a player. With him and Declan Rice, occupying the midfield and forming a double pivot, Etikite, all those forwards, Gapco, Mo Salah, they didn't have a sniff in that first half. They didn't have a sniff in the first half. I don't think they had a shot at goal in the first half. We had about 2 shots at goal. One of the shots was from Madueke, and he played a very good shot from a corner. He controlled the ball with his head, played a very good snapshot. But the keeper, Alisson, was very, very up to it. That wasn't surprising. He's a great keeper. He made a very good save, and we played better in the first half. We controlled the game better in the first half. The second half was not really the case, because Liverpool came at us in the second half. But even then the goal came out of nothing. It was about a 40-yard strike. I'm telling you. I don't know how that ball entered, but it was the perfect strike. No keeper in the world would have saved that ball. That is the reason why I wouldn't blame anybody. I wouldn't blame the keeper. I wouldn't blame anybody, because it was an evenly matched game as far as I'm concerned. And the Liverpool crowd were very vocal from the beginning to the end. For us to have that composure, for us to have that, for us to be that stable, unshaken in Anfield, a lot of teams would have crumbled under that hostile environment. A lot of teams would have given in, but it took a wonder goal. It took a wonder goal for us to concede at Anfield. I'm not happy with the result. That's the only thing I'm not happy about. But the effort we put in was top notch. It showed we can actually compete, but we need to do better in the final third. Football is about goals. I mean, defending can only get you so far, but you still need to score goals. We have to adopt a way to link our attackers, the midfield to the attackers, you know, and we had about 7 or 8 corners. We didn't even get ahead to any of them, which is one of our strengths. I mean, in the game of football, in the modern game, set piece is a tool to winning games. So if you can use it, you use it. You can see what Chelsea's doing. They've scored about 6 goals. They've scored about 5 goals from set piece. That's the way the game goes. I don't know why we didn't have a left-legged player to carve this corners from the corner line. Declan Rice is right-footed, and he tried. It was still quality, but it wasn't being whipped. It wasn't outside in. It was inside out. So it wasn't really the kind of corners. It wasn't really the kind of service that we are used to seeing from Declan Rice, from our players. When Odegaard came, he gave a better service there. And we have to stop this thing about having to pass too much. Sometimes you just have to shoot the ball from outside the box. If you are in the box, to me, if you are in the box, you have no business trying to pass. The reason why I said this is because there was a period when Odegaard had the ball. He was in the box. He could have just done a snapshot, surprised Alisson, one-time ball. But he tried to give a through pass to. He tried to give a through pass to Victor Gyökeres, and it was very, very well read by Konate, I think, before he got injured, and that was a very, very good intersection by the Liverpool defense. But left to me, I would have just said, look, it's your left leg, just take a shot. Take it towards the net. You take it towards the goal. Anything can happen. A rebound can fall kindly to an Arsenal player. Anything. I don't know why we play this style. We're supposed to be very, very ruthless. I'm not going to blame Gyökeres so much. He didn't get a lot of the ball because Konate played his best game in a very, very long time. He played his heart out. It was no surprise he got injured because he followed Victor Gyökeres from the beginning of the game till he got injured. When Gomez came in, Gomez did the same thing. Gomez was very good too in the short time he played, And sometimes all this our wide players. Martinelli started this game. Offensively, he was woeful. Defensively, he helped Calafiori a lot. And Calafiori, by the way, was super, super good. Flawless. Pocketed Mo Salah quite easily, in my opinion. But going forward, Martinelli and Merino they are the only 2 players I will put a lot of blame on in this game. Martinelli was simply just too bad. I mean, it's not even so hard as a winger. Get the ball, take a run, and just whip the ball across. You don't even need to run. And if it's covered, you can cut it off, make a pass, retain possession. Martinelli was virtually being escorted to the corner line, to to the oval line. He was, I mean, he's been very bad the last 8, 9, 10 games or so. But today's zone was just so weird. I understand Soboslai was very, very aggressive. But damn, you know, you're a winger. I mean, don't you train? You should come up with some tricks of your own. Don't be so predictable. Don't be so predictable. You know, this were the things I saw that actually dampened my mood throughout the game. Gyökeres got no service whatsoever. No service whatsoever. Merino wasn't even trying to find him. Merino wasn't trying to find him. We have to try and utilize our striker. We have to try and feed our striker. We have to look for him. Even if you give him the ball, he's dispossessed or he doesn't control it well, just keep giving it to him. He will have a moment or moments. You know, so this was a very frustrating day in terms of the attack. But every other thing was good in my opinion. Every other thing was good. I can't fault the players. I can't fault anybody. Going to Anfield is not for anyone. It's not for everyone. It's a hard place to go. And people say it's a title decider. I don't think it's a title decider yet. This is the third game in 38. This is 3 of 38. This is not a title decider, you know. But it still hurts to the bones after waiting for this game all week. And the least we deserved in this game was at least a draw. We played great. I think we played very good from the midfield to the defense, the wingers, and I was particularly very, very impressed with Noni Madueke. He was so good. But Kekes, he was good, and at the same time, Kekes was very good too. It was a battle between those two. They were both very, very good. I don't even know how that is possible. Noni was very good. The guy marking him, Kekes, was equally very good. Very, very good. I was very impressed with Kekes. And, but it's what it is. We tried, we gave it everything, but the Liverpool defense showed up today. I have to commend them. The Liverpool defense showed up today. They didn't give us anything. They didn't give us anything. There was no error. There was no mistake. They covered every blade of grass. They worked so hard. And the only goal came in the 83rd minute from a fantastic strike from Soboslai. Fantastic strike from Soboslai. You know, when McAllister was in the midfield, he was outplayed by us. We ran through him. But when he came off and Soboslai moved to the middle, I got very worried. Because Soboslai is more dynamic than McAllister, and he showed it. I mean, during open play, he was still covered, but he was much, much better than McAllister. And that goal, like I said, no keeper in the world would have caught that goal. The goal was perfect. It was the perfect goal. In such a big game, that's what separates two big teams. You know, one moment of brilliance. And unfortunately, it didn't come from us. It came from Liverpool. So once again, I'm going to applaud Liverpool because that was a great showing. Win any way you can. What matters is the 3 points. We watched yesterday. Chelsea was woeful. They still won 2-0. You know, with some very, very dodgy refereeing decisions. They've been very, very lucky so far. They are second on the table, I think. We still have 6 points. We have a very tough game of the season. We've won 2, lost 1. Losing to Liverpool at Anfield is nothing to be ashamed of. Liverpool is like arguably the first or second best team in the world at the moment. After PSG, I think you have to call Liverpool. Liverpool is a fantastic team. They are a great team. They have very, very good big match pedigree. And you know, if you lose 1-0 to them at home, it's nothing to be ashamed of. While it hurts so much, we're gonna take it, go for the international break, hoping there's no injury when it's over, and we come back reset and ready to play Nottingham Forest. That will be all for now. Like I said, it really hurts, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. That was and you know, the time the goal came was very late on, and you could see our urgency when we conceded. Why did we start up like that? The whole game was just annoying. The attacking part of it was annoying. The defense, I'm not going to blame anybody in defense. I'm not going to blame anybody in the defensive midfield, you know. But we have to start looking for a way to connect to that striker. And that will be all for now. Until next time, it's goodbye.